Hi guys, welcome back to Kpop Talks. I'm your host Aladdin, and today we're doing our mid-year top. This case, I think it's 25 songs of 2023, K-pop obviously, in K-pop. And originally this is similar for the album video. I wanted to make it a shorter list. I thought 15 would have been good, but as I went back specifically in the first 3 or 4 months of the year, like I had an idea of the songs that I really enjoyed, but I was surprised how many I left out that actually were amazing songs. So I decided to actually extend the list, and inside of the list I have also a lot of songs that maybe at first I didn't love as much when I listened to them the first time throughout the year, but then actually with more listens as I went through them through the year, and as I think also through the year not a lot of songs came out that were extremely better than some of these, they still end up making the list. As we did for the album video, we're gonna do here, which is gonna be a bunch of honorable mentions, and at first we're gonna start with Key Killer, Huh featuring Hash Swan with How Do You Feel, Apoki Mood V5, Dawn Dear My Light, Kai with Rover, Ash Island Rose in the Heart, which is the one probably hurts me the most, didn't make the list at the end of it all, and King Song-gyo with Small Talk. These are a bunch of songs that I really love that simply couldn't make the list for various reasons, and here we are right now with number 25. Let's get right into it. And number 25, sorry, we have Taeyang featuring Jimin with Vibe. I think this collaboration delivered. People were hyped about it, and it wasn't just empty. It was actually a good collaboration. They fit perfectly with each other. They would have great vocals, similar but at the same time different. The vibe is just fun. It's a cool song, and Taeyang came back with a great single. Unfortunately, not such a great album in my opinion, but as a single itself, it's pretty good. At number 24, we have Mirani featuring PH1 with Asphalt, one of the best K-pop tracks of this year. Mirani had her best year to date, I think. She delivered a great song with a great production, an amazing feature, and a really, really catchy chorus as well. And her raps, I think, has improved a lot. She's more stable with her raps, lyrically, flow-wise. She was really in her bag in this one, and I think you can just hear it throughout the single and throughout the album as well. So this is one of the songs that I think if you're a fan of both artists, you will love. And top of that, what is there to say maybe that is underrated? Actually, my favorite part probably is still the beat itself. The beat is so fucking fun, really. At number 23, you have Ahn Yeeun with Wandering. I mean, Ahn Yeeun is a very particular artist. She makes her own sound, her own style. Very, very good. I really love her vocals here. The sorrow, the melancholy, the sadness, it's all visible throughout her emotional performance, and the vocals are great. They're not for everybody. They're meant to sound like this, in my opinion. I mean, obviously, and I think she delivers it with a great song. A song that I think maybe people will help you get introduced to an amazing artist that is very underground, very unknown, but I think you'll be able to enjoy it and enjoy her. Next, I have Se-yoon featuring SUPERBEE with Mother Soccer. Now, Se-yoon is a comedian, as far as I understand. I mean, I know he is, and it was supposed to be a meme, right, this song, but actually I think it's pretty hard. It's pretty fun. He has personality, the lyrics are cool, the production is sick. SUPERBEE is also pretty good in here, so it's actually one of the one of the better hip-hop tracks of this year in my opinion. With the joke, with the gimmick itself, he ended up pulling out an amazing hip-hop song in my opinion. Next we have Epik featuring Hwasa with Catch. Now, I'm decided to put on this list also On My Way with Jackson. I feel like they're two standout songs of the album, and two perfect examples of what makes, I think, Epik special, because Jackson and Hwasa, they don't really have anything in common artistically, but yet they fit with each other extremely well. And it's something I don't think most other hip-hop groups or even artists in general can really do. Catch and My Way have a completely different vibe. Hwasa's vocals are incredible on Catch. Jackson, sorry, brings a great performance as well. Obviously, the lyrics of Epik are amazing. The chorus of On My Way is fantastic. So go check it out, these two songs, because they're incredible, bro. And next we have Sakura Zaka 46 with Start Over. The best probably single they've released since Nagaradama, I would say. Amazing. It's been a year, I think, since they released Nagaradama, so it's pretty much the same period. The production is sick, the vocals are actually really good, the chorus is fantastic, the lyrics are really, really interesting. Sakura Zaka, like when they were Kiyaki Zaka, always brought interesting choruses and interesting verses and interesting lyricism. And I always like how they approach the songs vocally. And it's kind of different than what Inada Zaka does, which is a little bit more like technical, a little bit more like sectioned in different parts of the group. They rarely all sing together, apart maybe during the chorus. And then obviously Nogizaga does it completely different as well. So I like the fact that they're doing their own style. It works, and I think it makes them special. And Start Over is the biggest thing also they've done, which makes me happy. That means that the work they've put on actually paid off, and it's paying off also with newer fans and more international fans knowing them, to the point that they went to France to do a expo thing for Japan, I think, and they had a lot of fans listening to their music. So I'm pretty sure that made them happy, and I think to a certain extent made See Them Fly realize that there's potential here. The hope is that one day they'll realize that they should push these girls to the moon, but we'll see. Overall, one of my favorite Sakura Zako songs since the debut, since 2020 pretty much. Number 19, we have Se-yoon with Knock. One of the catchiest songs of the year, easily, one of the most I think fun songs to listen to, constantly in rotation, never get tired of it. Se-yoon, listen, when she decided to go solo at first, I wasn't sure, and I think from the start, but specifically now, she made me completely eat my words back, because she's fantastic, she can handle it, and the company that she's working with understands her and what type of music is the best for her. You know, not every company understands that, and she's lucky that her company understands that and allows her to, I think, bring the best version of herself every single time on these songs, regardless of then if people like it or not. Because even if you look at her debut per se, it's not the most necessarily like mainstream sound, and even this one, it's kind of different than what everybody else does. But in the repetitiveness into that chorus, she actually releases one of the best songs of this year. We have Twice with Set Me Free at number 18. I mean, Twice, the same thing I said about the album. They're Mr. Consistency or Miss Consistency. They have their formula, they do it well, and every time they do a little spin, so it's at least a little bit newer, or at least a little bit different than what they did before. And this song, I just love it. I think the chorus is really good. I think the production, the way it fits with the vocals of Jio and Nayeon and everybody else, it's really, really good. The rapping sections, which normally I don't like, actually work here more than in other songs where they completely feel out of place. Overall, great song by Twice, and as always, they are this new era of girls' generation, 100%. I mean, they're the only girl group that still makes this sound that it's actually super heavily successful. You know, no other girl group is at their position still making this type of music and having this type of success. So give credit where credit is due. At number 17, we have Yunjin with I Different Than All. The reason why I have it here because I have to commend Yunjin. I think she came with an interesting song, a deep song, a song that had something to say, you know, and I'm happy that Hybe allowed her to release that, which shows a great maturity by the company. Still, the only thing I hope is that she doesn't become a hypocrite because of this song, where I feel like, oh, you say this, but then you might do something different. I'm just being an asshole. Overall, the song is perfect. It has a great meaning. She also made the little drawings you see, they're really, really cool. And yeah, the lyrics are great. These are the lyrics what I expect from a young woman, right? They're not overly complicated, they're not overly philosophical. They're direct, and she tells you exactly what she wants to say. She does it her own style, and it comes off as one of the best singles of 2023. Easy. And at number 16, we have one of the best collaborations of the year with Colde and Chanhyuk with Heartbreak Club Part 2, I think. No, it's only Heartbreak Club. Amazing song. The production is perfect, that bass is incredible. Both Colde and Chanhyuk fit perfectly with each other vocally, and they really add that extra layer to the song with the way they perform and the way the production is, because it's active. The song is pretty upbeat, but at the same time it's laid back, and it's able to allow the artist to really shine, and also throughout their singing to leave a little bit of room for silence, or at least a pause. That's very, very hard to do, I think. Chanhyuk, people like to mock him because of his antics or whatever, but I mean, I've said it in the past and I'll say it right now, I don't give a fuck if he makes amazing music. As long as he makes great music, I don't care about his antics. These things do not matter to me. Now, if you're making bad music and your antics like this, then we can criticize you, but the music is backing up his performances, his antics, I think, in a way that most other artists I just don't think can afford to do that in Korea. At number 15, we have Seulgi with Anywhere But Home. This was a special single she released, I think, when she went to Japan for a vacation for like, I don't remember, was it like February or March? No, I think it was before because it's still very cold. But anyway, it's an amazing song, really. Seulgi's vocals are incredible. Love the 80s, 90s inspired production, city pop, kind of like laid back pop production. Fuck with it heavy. Also a little bit of disco music, and also I love the vocals. The chorus is super memorable. The lyrics are simple, but they do what they're supposed to do. In my opinion, they do it very, very well. So Seulgi, I think, showcases. I think they're in Japan, if I'm not mistaken. I don't give a fuck. It's still the same thing. The song is fantastic because I'm just looking at the music video right now and while I'm commenting, and so yeah, I really like it. It's the type of vibe you don't really hear a lot in K-pop. I don't think you really hear it done as good as this in general. So Seulgi deserves a spot on this list in my opinion. Number 14 we have Purple Kiss with Sweet Juice. Hey, listen, Purple Kiss is this generation Apink maybe? Nah. Yeah, maybe Apink in the sense that they're popular, they have a fan base, they're successful, but they never really... I mean, to be fair, Apink at the time were one of the biggest girl groups in the Korea, but who I would compare them to, because I think they're underrated, really. Like, compared to how great of a music they make every time, I think they're not successful enough. And I rarely say this about most groups, but the music is perfect, the actual concept works, the production is good, the lyrics actually make sense, and you close it all with then an amazing chorus that Purple Kiss always nails. You have to give them credit for every single, bringing us one of the most memorable K-pop songs in a very long time, one of the best songs I think any group from a fourth generation group has done ever, I think. So congrats to Purple Kiss, congrats to their company, which I don't know what it is, it doesn't say which company it is, but I mean, good job on them, you know. I don't think it's as common as people think. It's Rainbow, so okay, congrats to Rainbow. I mean, give them credit where credit is due. They've done a great job, in my opinion, at making the perfect sound for their group. Really, really good. At number 13, we have XG with Shooting Star. Now, spoiler alert, this will not be the only time you'll see XG on this list. This song is just fantastic. The way it starts, the beat, they've really brought back that idea of starting with just the beat for like 3 or 4 or 5 seconds to set up the mood. It's not very common anymore in K-pop, I think, for the most part, to have that first very, very memorable 3 or 4 seconds, and they really brought it back. Overall, the song is fire, the rapping is sick, the chorus is great, everybody brings a level of personality, they're all very memorable, you know, which is very, very uncommon, I think, in 4th generation K-pop, that you can just look at a group and be like, oh, that's the girl, that's the girl, that's the girl, right? And it's not just because of the way they make music, it's also aesthetically. I think Simon did a good job, which is the producer of this company, to not pick all girls, or sometimes even how they specifically do it for boy groups, where they pick every guy looks the same, you know. I like the fact that they kind of varied and everybody fits the group perfectly. I still don't buy some of the bullshit that Simon said in the documentary, but that's a discussion for another day. But this song is fantastic, and yeah, one of the best. I think XG, if not now, will end up becoming the best girl group of this generation. I believe so. And we have another XG song again with Left Right, another fantastic track, completely different than Shooting Star, and yet it hits perfectly. The old school 2000 R&B vibe is great, the vocals are amazing, the lyrics are perfect, the rapping is great, it has personality. Yeah, I mean, listen, give them credit. Like I said, they've nailed the movement, and if somehow Japanese companies are realizing that there's a chance to actually make some money and you know, leave a track there, hey, they'll start somewhat invading the industry as well. I mean, Japan has a lot of great artists and a lot of really talented people that they don't use enough, I think. In fact, I think they allow even sometimes companies like SM, JYP or YG or Hype to push their artists for no reason. I think if they were smarter, similar to what Korea does, you could have more of a structured like concept that you can come to Korea and do. But you know, Japan has a different mentality overall. I think where Korea always cared about expanding from the start, Japan doesn't really care. I mean, like you see with anime, oh, it's popular, cool. If it wasn't, they wouldn't change anything that they're doing to please anybody. So go back to what we were talking about, Left and Right, one of the most fun, and it's one of the songs you just need to listen to 3 times to remember the lyrics, which is great. I think that's an amazing thing to do, specifically for a K-pop songs that has English lyrics. That's not easy to do at all in general, let alone for a K-pop group or a Korean, a K-pop Japanese group. Let's go with that. Completely different mood at number 11 with George with Aurora Forever. I love the mood of this song. It's just fun. It's just summer, the vibes, the production, everything is super laid back, smooth. His vocals are great. Just an amazing song overall, you know, like you know, I'm not the biggest fan of alternative rock in general, but give credit where credit is due. I think it's hard to make good music like this, and I think specifically music that it doesn't necessarily remind you of anything. It's also true that, like I said, I don't listen to a lot of alternative rock or alternative music, so I don't really necessarily think of an artist specifically or a movement specifically, but this song is perfect. I think this song is the definition, for me at least, of a perfect song in what it's trying to achieve, which is being a laid-back, cool song to listen to when you're on the beach or at the pool, just, you know, chilling and listening to some music while you're just getting some sun on your body, right? It's a perfect song in that sense. Y'all thought it was over, huh? With XG. Wrong. At number 10, we have XG with Girl Gang. Listen, I have to put it on here, you know, because in my opinion, if I didn't have these 3 songs of XG, one, I would lie to myself, but I think I would do a disservice to the K-pop industry, because these 3 are the 3 of the best songs of this year. This song is fucking incredible. How many girl group could pull off a concept like this in this song? I think none in Korea, really. I'm not even joking. So maybe Blackpink if they really tried, but you know, you would need more than 4 members in that sense because the way they do it. But even then, it's fucking incredible. The way the song starts, the way it goes, the fact that it's short, so you want more of it, it's incredible. Yeah, I mean, they nailed it perfectly. I think it's very, very hard to do this type of music, like I said, in Korea, without necessarily getting labeled as, you know, cultural appropriation or bullshit like this. I think normally people get on your face about it, but hey, guess what? When you make good music, people will fuck with it more than you think. You know, if you don't make good music, people will hate you for it. So XG, Girl Gang, one of the most fun songs I've heard in years in K-pop. This is really a hype song, like the classic we used to hear, like from Monsta X or EXO or Beast or even early BTS, them really hype songs that pretty much don't really exist, maybe apart from 80s and occasionally Stray Kids. So great song. I'm saying great song a lot this video, but it is what it is. Next we have EAJ with Sober Go Away. I wanted to honestly give credit to EJ because, you know, I was never a fan of Day 6. Anybody that's ever watched any of my videos, anytime I talk about Day 6, it's never in a very positive manner. But hey, this song is perfectly produced. I love his vocals. I love the effect that he has on his voice. The chorus is great. The lyrics are actually pretty fucking cool. And, you know, considering after all that bullshit that happened with Jimin, which I still think it's ridiculous, she got mad over something like that, that kind of like stunted a little bit of his, I think, of his plan, because I remember watching a stream of his where he had a specific plan of what he wanted to do for the next months, and then that stupid thing happened where he just called her a hoe in a jokingly manner, and, you know, she could get offended, sure, but the way I see it is, if me and you are friends and we know how we joke, it's very weird to me that your first reaction is going on Twitter and claiming that I'm a misogynist or it's patriarchy or anything, or whatever she was trying to say, right? So that was very weird to me. But apart from that, it's an amazing song. Maybe through this video, if it ends up on your face or on your ears, you'll be able to appreciate the song that like the way I do, because it's incredible. It's a very, very underrated song of this year, in my opinion. One of the most underrated from a very famous guy, because you know, Jay is pretty famous. Next we have NCT Dream, Best Friend Forever. Hey, when NCT Dream doesn't just try to copy the other groups and they're focused on what they want to do and whatever the company wants to produce them, they give us an amazing song. So at number 8 we have Best Friend Ever. Amazing song. One of the best choruses of the year. Is it the best boy group song of the year? Let me check. Yeah, it's the best boy group song of the year, in my opinion. Best Friend Forever, amazing project as well that followed this song. I'm pretty sure, yes, came out project, I think in February, whatever. I don't fucking remember. I have a terrible memory about months and shit like that. But yeah, the song is great, super catchy, and the voices of the guys really, really fit the old concept they've been going with recently. More of a vibrant, you know, young teenager, but you know, maybe they don't want to have too much of a colorful image, fine with me, but as long as you're not just trying to do NCT 127 part 2 or whatever like that, I'm fine with doing this type of music more, and if it's done well, I love it, like this one. At number 7, the most viral K-pop song of the year, 50-50 with Cupid. I mean, it's hard to talk about this song without actually having a bittersweet taste to my mouth talking about it, because 50-50 could have been so much, but greed and, you know, bad advice, and sometimes not trusting the person that got you there really makes you believe you know more. You know, it's, I think this case of 50/50 showcases exactly as we know as of now. Obviously, maybe tomorrow, now that I make this video, we're gonna get some crazy scoop or whatever, but I think it makes you realize, unfortunately, how, you know, that old tale of idols being innocent, not knowing what they're doing, even if they're 30, it's pretty much dead, because these girls are 19 and they were doing this type of fuckery, right? So, like, while this song is fantastic, super catchy chorus, the lyrics in English and in Korean function perfectly. Super smart, the idea of also releasing an English song early on was very smart. I thought the way the group was pushed was super smart, super natural, no sort of like funny shit with like paying YouTubers to react to your music video or anything like that, or spamming it on the feed of people. That was really, really good, and you can just feel this build up, because at first you would hear it on random Instagram, and it went to being on almost every random Instagram ever. Could be an Instagram about NBA, and you could hear about Cupid, right? So it's one of the best songs of this year. It's probably since Momoland with Boom Boom, I think we had a viral song like this, like in terms of natural virality, not due to the fact that you're a super popular group. Maybe I'm forgetting somebody in the middle, I don't believe so, but you could say Yunjin, but I think this is on another level. So yeah, I loved it. It's just sad, like I said, we could have had one of the more interesting groups, and possibly stupidity and fuckery will, you know, not allow us to see what it could have been. You know, it's kind of sad, really. Next is LESSERAFIM at number 6 with Unforgiven. Now, I think when I reviewed this originally, I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but man, it's so fucking catchy. Can't even lie. Super catchy. I never really got tired of to listen to it throughout the year. Can't even lie. So it works perfectly. I wasn't indecisive between this and obviously Psyche and the Beard's Wife, but then I choose this one. I feel like it's just simpler. It works better. I think it's more or less LESSERAFIM. The other felt like a B-side, so I decided to go more with the single, and it's great. It works. It's very fucking good. Yeah, I mean, there isn't much more to say. All of y'all listen to this song way more than I do, and so you guys already know what I want to say. It's pretty good. It's not perfect, but I think in that imperfection, all those things that I kind of disliked, like the way change of pace in the chorus and whatever, like from the production, or production change, sorry, I didn't love it at first, but now I just like it for whatever reason. So it goes at number 6, but it's not better than the songs above it. I couldn't put it honestly, just out of principle about some of these songs, in my opinion. Next we have ONEW with Circle. I would dare to call this song and simply describe it as the best performance from a Korean singer all year. I don't think I've heard a Korean singer sing better than this year at all. The vocals are immaculate, they're perfect. The production fits him incredibly well. I love the gospel elements toward the end, with the chorus, with the preach, with the church chorus, church choir, I think it's called in English, right? And it's incredible. It's theatrical. It fits him perfectly, and wow. I mean, it's just chill-inducing in my opinion. So go check it out. ONEW with Circle, the best vocal performance of the year, and has one of the best albums of the year as well. So you're not gonna be disappointed in my opinion. Next we have Triple S with Rising. Is this my favorite Triple S song? No, but it's the best one that came out this year. It's super fucking good. They've also cut a niche for them, similar to New Jeans. Yeah, I mean, it works. They have their own concept now. They have their own ideas. I still wish they removed that old idea about NFT from the group. Just detach it from it as fast as you can. I just don't think it's necessary. But the music videos are very, very particular. Like when I was looking at Triple S music videos, they clearly have a clear vision of what they want to do. You know, it's clear that they have probably the same director behind it, the same creative team, and that's not very common in Kpop, by the way. I think, because when I look at some of these music videos, I'm like, it doesn't look like the same guys doing it. Like, it might look like the same people, but a lot of times they're just imitations. Like, if you look at this, if you look at Generations, if you look even at Crystallize, like, it's pretty much the same guy. You can just tell, the same girl, whoever is directing it, and the team itself. So good idea by their company. And again, just talking about the song, fucking amazing. And is it my favorite chorus of this year? Probably not, because number one song has my favorite chorus of all year, which I think we would all agree it's the best chorus of the year, but still the chorus hits the way it's supposed to. And Again, they're also doing this throwback 2000 kind of like Y2K style of music. Not necessarily too much, but they obviously take ideas from that as well and bring it with a more modern style than Yunjin's, for example. Number 3, Lil MOSHPIT featuring Flicky Bang with How We Came, Lil MOSHPIT and Flicky Bang featuring PH1 with How We Came. One of the best, if not the best banger of this year. It's the best, for me it's my favorite, it's by far the best, but you can argue maybe a couple others. Bro, the way the song starts, the beat, the way he starts flowing on it, the chorus, the way he has that grounding voice, bro, he just has personality, and he just I don't know, I say like just pours out of him, and you just can feel it and be like involved with him musically as much as I am. I love it. I think I've listened to the song a thousand, maybe 10,000 times this year. I fucking love it. It's probably my most listened song this year, I think, on Spotify. I'm not even joking. Maybe number 1 is most, but still, like, it's crazy to me that this type of song is relatively underrated, because even when I was looking at the views and whatnot, like, it's not like it has that many views. It has 120,000. Like, I'm not saying it should have 10 million, but let's say I'm just surprised it doesn't have even 1, considering you have PH1 and it's on NCT-OMG, I think, right, or higher music. So then I get the views in a sense. But yeah, of course, fantastic. Has probably the best produced banger in Korea. Yeah, I mean, Lil MOSHPIT is an incredible producer. When I went back into his catalog this year, I was really surprised how well he is of a producer and how I didn't know about him before. It's crazy. On number 2, we have Owen featuring Marv and PH1 with Imaroom. Yes, I think it's interesting that one of my favorite songs of all time, it's In My Room by Moonbyul, and it's thematically different, but it's somewhat the same, because like I like how Owen reflects on his career, of his life, things that didn't go the way they're supposed to, but yet he's able to enjoy life still, right? And how he's able to not necessarily enjoy life still, but he's back enjoying life again. I love the fact that he's bringing that up. You can see him happy, even in the way, like, there's that ending of the music video where he's taking pictures for PH1 with his fans, and it's like, damn, he could have been that, because he was that popular and Show Me the Money before the marijuana scandal, right? Was it marijuana? I don't remember what it was, but it was some scandal based off of drugs or some shit like that. So Owen, I love him. He has some of the best songs of this year, and obviously this is one of the most heartfelt singles I've heard in K-pop probably ever. Really, really incredible. I was surprised, and again, it's very, very rare to hear a rapper like him, who's more of a hard-nosed style of rapper, who brings that kind of old school idea of Korean hip-hop, or hip-hop in general, be this vulnerable on a song. I love it. I really did, and I don't mean it as a, oh, you're weak. No, I mean it as a, takes balls, I think, to talk about some of these topics in Korea without necessarily getting bastardized by a lot of people. So, I mean, congrats to him about it. He had a lot of balls, and honestly, I fucking love this song. And obviously, we're not gonna talk about the amazing features of PH1 and Marv. I mean, you already know what these guys can do. It's a waste of time. PH1, by the way, is still on an incredible streak of features this year. He hasn't missed a feature in 2.5 years. Which is actually the last 2 years, to be specific, 100%. I don't think he had chosen a bad song to feature in, which is incredible in my opinion. Oh yes, I mean, just go and look at the music video. It's so wholesome, and the music is perfect. So I check the music video because I think it enhances the value of the lyrics a lot more. There's on the YouTube, so you can check them out. And yeah, I love it. I love it. It makes me happy to see a brother who's struggling, talking about his issues, and, you know, in a space that's normally not really, it's kind of frowned upon, let's just say. At a number 1, guess who it is? New Jeans with oh my god, the catchiest song in years, probably since what? At least for me, since Fake Love. Like, I can't think of a song in that span of time that was as catchy as this. This song is hyper catchy. The concept is super intelligent. The lyrics are great. The way they connect, again, they brought also the concept of silence. So like, they ask me what is it, and then somebody else goes, and then there's a moment of silence. It's a short moment, but it works, and then it connects perfectly with the chorus. Amazing chorus. The fucking dance is iconic. This is the definition of an iconic dance. Here, example, why am I not seeing people saying this is an iconic dance? Like, because it's too simple, because it's not by Blackpink, because it's not by BTS or some super popular group. Like, This is the most iconic K-pop dance since what? Maybe Stray Kids like God's Menu, and before that, maybe another 2-3 years back you would have to go. Like, I mean, you could say ITZY, they had some, but in general, like this iconic that everybody in K-pop knows them, it's very, very rare to find. So give credit to Hype. I mean, and I say Hype to a certain extent, but give credit to Yunjin's company. I mean, they've cracked down the formula and they've released songs recently like New Jeans and Super Shy that play on that formula, but they're different. So they don't just feel like they're copying. You know, MLD could have learned a couple of lessons when they were fucking producing Momoland, but that's a different discourse for another day. Best song of the year. Is it hands down the best song? No, I could have had Left Right as the best song. I could have had many others, but honestly, this is the song that I loved. This song I never got bored of all year, and it came out in January, early January. So they've cracked the code, and we'll see how many groups they'll influence, because they've already influenced 2 or 3 groups from this year. We'll see in the next 2 years how many groups will follow the New Jeans trend, and also I'm curious to see how long they can ride this high, because I think eventually this high will die, because the numbers specifically on YouTube, and I think for K-pop that's true. Like, if your numbers on YouTube are low, that means you're probably not as popular as you think you are, because fans are obsessed about numbers on YouTube, and the fact that a lot of their music videos, even this is the performance, has 140, which is great. But I mean, Jimin released a song 7 days ago, it has 80 million. See, that's kind of a different playing field, right? So I love it. Simple as that. And this was it for the best songs so far of 2023 in K-pop. Like I said, there were so many songs. There were other songs that I took in consideration. If you were interested, I was taking in consideration Stacy with Teddy Bear, Yesung Fluorescence, also when it comes to his album, one of the most underrated projects of this year, Craxy with their XX Cypher, Kid King featuring Punchinello with Go Loud, Ron featuring 1300 and Dress with Marsh, Code Kunst featuring Gecko and Mina Jumper, Owen Love Yourself, Balmin Tiger SOS, Ryu Sujong Grabby Girl, Extraordinary Heroes Freaking Bad, Aespa Spicy and 80s Bouncy. These are some of the songs that I took in consideration, but I didn't even put them in my honorable mentions because I pretty much removed them originally almost immediately once I did the list. As I was adding songs, I was removing them. These were the first one that I ended up removing. Not because they're bad. Like, I would assume some of these, probably, I would say most, but a good amount of these will make the top 50 at the end of the year. So it's cool that I was able to pull it off, surprisingly. So I'm happy the way it came out. It doesn't always work. Don't get me wrong. With these type of videos, sometimes you feel like you have a good idea. Sometimes you feel like it's gonna work better than it does. But honestly, I'm really happy we were able to do this. This year as a channel. Like, we barely did any views, I know, but for me to see videos get 10, 20, 100, like sometimes a couple got 50, like that's already a win for me, considering I upload maybe max once a week, you know, and then you have the end of the year month, you have 2-3 videos. So in general, I don't really upload as often as some of these other channels. Like, if I really wanted to be super serious about it, 1, I don't have time. 2, I don't really have much to talk about, and I don't want to be a news channel. There's so many news channels out there, and I want it to be mainly music focused, which has its pros and cons, obviously, but for me specifically, it's just more to talk about something that I love, and maybe there's somebody out there that agrees or even disagrees with me, but just a way to have a conversation with the broad worldwide community of K-pop. After this, like a little bit of a propaganda by me for my channel, this was my list. Tell me what were your favorite songs in singles of this year. Give us a top 3, top 5, just make a list. Who gives a fuck? I will recommend you just put a couple of artists nobody knows. Just don't go for like the super general picks. Go for what you like. So even if it's something I wouldn't like or somebody else, who cares? Be yourself. And that's something that I really want to push on this channel. Be yourself when it comes to your music taste. Don't be like others. Having said that, thank you for watching. Goodbye, and see you probably in a couple of days with the worst songs of this year, which that list is gonna be very interesting. Also the worst albums. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye and good night, good day, whatever the fuck you are around the world.